So, gosh, I feel like I've been prepping on this for weeks. Let's just give you the scenario. We'll share some articles later. So, uh, but we have a client, and the client has a neighbor. Neighbor is a bit of a hoarder. Not only is there trash and recyclables and things on his property, but what's worse is he has cars. And they're not the newest cars, they're not the nicest cars. Let's call them junk cars. They're probably, what, 5, 6 of them sitting on one side of the property. He's a little mentally unstable, we think. He's an older gentleman. When I looked at LADBS code enforcement records, he has a sterling record since 2002 of many closed cases, and still some active right now into the present day, of getting rid of the trash, cars, and whatnot. He's not a homeless person. He actually owns 3 homes under his name in the same area. But we, as real estate agents, have been trying to figure out how to make this go away. We're about to go on market. And dialed 311. 311, very helpful lady. Of course, she's got every phone number. She gave me parking enforcement. She gave me Council District 4. She gave me LADBS, Department of Building and Safety. I did everything. Probably 3-4 weeks ago, we started this campaign. Nothing has happened. His cars are still there. Everything's there. He's basically he's a very unpopular guy in the neighborhood, not just for us, but for the other neighbors. Because, what would you say, Darren? He's lowering some house values, I believe, out there.
Oh, tremendously.
Yeah.
We're talking 10 to 15% in the immediate neighborhood.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. So, without getting too detailed, everyone's got some great advice from each department. Everybody's kind of pointing fingers this way and that and whatnot, but I actually met with the parking enforcement person last night, and he knows the guy. He knows his name, and it really blew my mind. He goes, "Oh yeah, we know about this guy. He's got more cars than this." I said, "Really? How many?" I go, "Like at the other houses, right?" He goes, "Oh no. He has hundreds of cars all over the city. Everybody knows him, but we can't do anything about him." It just blew my mind. And why? Because he knows the rules. And he said, "We've got a name for these guys. They're games players. There's several of them in the city that do this, and they just play a game of musical cars, and they know that if they just move it even 6 inches," he said, "that they're okay. They're good for a little bit more time." I think also too, when you tax a system like the city, they're just not going to be out there at beck and call to find hundreds of cars, basically breaking the law. So he gave us some suggestions. He's going to talk to his people in his department, but not really bullish that this is going to get figured out.
Yeah, I think he's going to go in there tomorrow. He's going to punch his time clock. And given his valid effort, and supervisors has a busy day, and sadly, I mean, they're just. I would love to believe something's going to be done, but even his dialogue with you is making it clear that it's very difficult. And city agency to agency. First off, you presented that story about as calm as you could. I don't know that I could present it that calmly. It really makes me angry because it's not right. This guy does not deserve empathy. He's got plenty of money. He's got plenty of space, and you're being kind, calling these cars they're missing bumpers. They're destroyed. There's one right in front of the house that has a blue tarp over it with bricks laying on it.
Not being driven, obviously.
Awful. It's awful.
Yeah. It's pretty bad.
There may be
I should
people
show
out
some
there that
pictures, really, but yeah.
care a little less about whether somebody's property value went down or not.
Yeah.
And okay, you can have that opinion, but what this guy is doing is wrong.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me that the bureaucracy in this city cannot become more efficient and productive. And they could still have all the empathy in the world, but
Yep.
they have no empathy for the impact he's having on everyone in that entire neighborhood.
Yeah.
And all the efforts they try to do and all the laws they abide by. And it just is super frustrating. I wish somebody would not worry about just covering their ass and they would actually try to get something done. Now, I assure you, Joe, if this was your house or my house, we would be completely resilient and probably, because the squeaky wheel gets the grease at the city.
Yep.
If you have
Well,
any...
and yeah, and they said that. Well, just be diligent.
Yeah. It truly means like call every day.
Yeah.
And in 3 months, they might move one of the cars until he brings it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sad. It's incredibly sad.
Well, just to show that this is our case and this is our issue right now, but this is across the city, and so one of the things I just put in the comments, Darren, is the LA Times article about I think it's on Venice. Let's see here.
No, it was in Pico Union. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so we're not alone on this one. Someone torched an RV. Why did it take LA so long to tow it? Look at that. And it goes on to basically talk about, as you said, Darren, the different departments, what they can and can't do, what they push off on other departments. I believe it finally got taken care of. But yeah, it's just not the priority, honestly.
You see politics on the national level, and this is I don't want government versus government needs to save everyone on the national level. But where we're at here in Los Angeles, I think everybody's mostly on the same path. We want to help those in need. Government serves a purpose. Let's work together and get some results. They ain't getting results. They certainly are not getting results. Something needs to change, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to read here. I'm trying to remember this story. Let's see. It took and this actually sounds fast compared to what we're doing. I think it took a month or so, but this gentleman did keep checking back in. He goes, I drove back to Magnolia Place on Thursday afternoon. The RV was finally gone. But the cleanup job was weeks also at best. And around the corner on a side street was a hollowed out RV I hadn't noticed before. So LA's game of wrecked RV whack-a-mole continues. So yeah. So we're not alone. The other one that I wanted to point out that was interesting to me, and I think this just came out last night or a couple days ago, is an article, at least I found on NBC Los Angeles, of a pilot program, right? Starts ridding some of LA County streets of RVs. Residents and business owners have been complaining about the issue for years. So again, it's a pilot program. It goes on to say LA County has 7,500 mobile homes throughout the county. In this area, we have 2,500. So this is an area that's pretty famous, a 6-mile area, not limited to Compton and Redondo Beach boulevards. So it's not like the city doesn't know there's an issue. They're obviously trying to make some moves, but just a little.
And the most sensitive component related to this, at least on the RVs, and it's not the case in our situation. Mm-hmm. Just the crossovers that they're both vehicles. You always want to have empathy. You always want to find a solution. You don't want to, but in our recent experience that we've had with some people who are squatting,
that too, right?
Over 6 months of trying to help them get to another location.
Yeah.
I mean, offering money. They have no right to be there.
Right. I've been there 7 years.
Giving them time,
Yeah.
bringing services to them that are available.
Yeah.
In the end,
Didn't
they
accept
they,
anything.
they have not left.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it has changed my perception a bit of, well, you know, is the only way. First off, it makes me feel like this is only going to be fixed when it's beyond repairable, meaning that it's going to be dramatic. There's no way to solve this problem in a non-dramatic, oh my God, the world is ending situation.
Right.
Because denial, there's a long list of denial on the other end. So it's going to be dramatic today, or it's going to be dramatic 6 months or 10 years from now. The drama will come, and people will jump out, and they'll proclaim victimhood whenever that time arrives, when something's actually going to be done.
You
It's
know,
unavoidable.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned the squatters, because yeah, I drove by there, and yeah, there were new tents, man, just like you said.
Right, and this isn't even something we did. The property is probably going to be sold, and trees were trimmed back heavily as a requirement from the city. It took away a lot of shade,
Right.
and so these are people squatting on this spot. What did? They went out and they brought in all kinds of new tents and set them up so they have shade. Yeah, they found the money to get tents. They found the money. They find ways to stay there. They don't
Well, that's the
find
thing,
ways
right?
to
They
move.
are resourceful in that way.
Yes.
I think they were resourceful in other ways.
Yes. And
All right. Well, it continues, guys. Thanks for listening to us. I didn't rant too hard, but yeah, we're doing what we can.